Hello people of YouTube, I'm in the bass room here at Thomann with my good friend Kris.
Hi guys.
And we're surrounded by Harley Benton guitars. Do not fear, this is not a bass video. Yet. We're talking about customizing Harley Bentons. What have you got in your hands now? Stuff and things.
Pot heads, pot knobs, and there are some other stuff on the ground as well. It's not an easy theme, so it's not like, you can say, those brands of aftermarket parts will fit on all of these guitars. Nope, not at all. It's a bit more complicated, and you have to, first of all, know the reason why it's not that easy. Second of all, be aware of it, and be prepared to actually grab your screwdriver and fill in some holes, drill some new ones, and maybe have a router of a sort, or have someone who has a router. Be prepared to customize the guitar. I mean, hard time customizing, not just, popping this out and putting another pickup in it or something. The thing is, if you change some parts on a guitar like this, switch quality, it's all right, but it's just as good as the money you paid for it is, and not better. The basic of these instruments is what's worth the money. If you buy a pot, make sure if it's a USA pot, that your pot heads are also made by an American brand for American guitars, which means it's gonna have the proper dimensions.
And if you have the smaller version, they will fit, but you are very likely to do some damage if you're going to be forcing it on.
Yeah.
Not that that's ever happened to me in the past several times.
No, obviously not.
No. The other thing is about depth of the pot as well.
Yeah.
I learned this the hard way.
Yeah.
That you can get different depths.
Yeah.
And back to the Epiphone Gibson thing, it was too shallow.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to be careful, and if it just goes south, it's all right, because your main goal should be doing it and not being finished as fast as possible. Because if that's your main goal, just let someone do it.
I think anytime you're messing with the strings, you're in a dangerous ground of making the instrument unplayable.
Yes.
So as we said before, like switching the pot covers and the switches and electronics, that's one side of it, which you can do, and it's fairly logical because, okay, that wire goes there and that wire goes there, you just desolder. Even if you've never soldered before, I think that's safer than when you suddenly start messing with the tuners,
frets,
the bridge and the nuts and the frets. Because then suddenly your strings are in a different position and your guitar doesn't work anymore.
Here's a tip for you. It just came in my mind. Right at the beginning, when I started this whole soldering stuff, and way before I started working here, I wasn't sure about how this whole thing called electronic works in a guitar. I just took a picture with my cell phone of the part I'm about to unsolder and change and solder again, and then just check on the picture every second minute and just make sure, this one's good.
I still do that.
Yeah, there you go. And if you didn't think about it, well, try it. It's awesome. If you knew it, I'm sorry.
I thought we'd talk quickly about cosmetic changes. This is the pick guard for a Strat style guitar, an ST style. It's made by Harley Benton.
Yeah.
Does it fit that Harley Benton?
No. Well, not exactly. Probably some of the holes will be in the wrong place. Why? You would probably ask. Oh, a nice question. You're not surprising me very much. Well, it's weird. I know it's weird. But the thing is that spare parts are built almost in all the cases, no matter which brand, to fit one or two versions of the original guitar. Like original brand, guess which? Mexican made, American made, blah, blah, blah. Older, newer, vintage style. On a telly, less screws, more screw holes, whatever, will fit one of those or a number of those models. But Harley Benton ST guitars had to be changed for obvious reasons. Of course, because of copyright issues. Harley Benton didn't want to copy, like a one-to-one copy any, instruments. Sure.
Let's move up this way. What can we do? You want to start at the headstock?
Let's just slide through the neck here. Just one sentence, which we always get in the repair shop emails, and people asking like, which file do I need and which hammer can I use to file one of my frets or a few of my frets because it's buzzing, and I never tried it myself, so I don't know which tool I need. And it's like, well, there are proper tools, and we actually have a number of luthier tools finally in our web shop. But if you don't know how to use them and you don't have any experience, please don't do it yourself. We sell them for luthiers and for people who know what they're doing. If you want to experiment, which is totally cool, be prepared to ruin your guitar and maybe refret it again and again and again, because it's not very complicated, but you really have to know some rules, and you have to develop a kind of a feel to it. Yeah, like you have to feel what is too much and what do I have to do. One fret is too high. Okay. You start to think, okay, I'll just file it down. Yeah, but maybe the fret is not in the slot properly. So your first thing would be just to try to hammer it back into its original level. And if that didn't work out, then you can start filing. But you also have to consider all the frets around. So it's a little bit complex, and I would definitely recommend just let a luthier do it, or just try and go for it, and don't be surprised if it goes.
Take it to your local shop luthier, and if they let you watch at the same time, or maybe you pay a little bit extra for an education session.
If they're cool and they let you watch, you can learn a lot. Yeah, might be a good thing. Actually.
And then undertake the joy of experimentation.
Exactly. And also all these tools in order to have all the tools you need to make sure your fret job is good, you will spend hundreds and hundreds of euros only on tools. In this case, if we're talking a high level spec Harley, you will not have to change this. That's the Fusion 1 or 2, whichever, the Pro Series Harley Benton with the proper Floyd on it, like proper, not good quality knot with proper tuners. You don't have to change these things here. But on like average Harley Bentons, these are normal plastic parts. On some you get graphite composite saddle, that's the word.
Yeah.
But on cheaper models like this one, you can of course upgrade it. Whenever you buy anything aftermarket, in this case as well, you will have to consider, doing some job. You have to be okay with that, because what's important is the string spacing, again, just as here in your saddles. If that's all right, that doesn't mean that the overall length and width and height will fit. It will not. It will be just a bit or a lot too wide, too high, too whatever, long. So you will have to make it fit if you want to do it yourself. Just be prepared. There's no such thing as a perfect match for every guitar on this planet, because every piece of instrument is different. Tuners. Again, 2 basic categories. Vintage style, smaller hole for the tuners through the headstock, and modern style, like these ones, which will have a bigger hole diameter. So these are the 2 basics. This doesn't mean that these are the 2 existing diameters and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like these are the 2 categories,
and
then you still have, isn't it? Yeah, and you still have a wide variety of different diameters, which is really annoying. And you will have to count again with some drilling and stuff.
For me, this is one of the most easy things to upgrade, and it can really benefit, because there's nothing worse than starting a set and you getting no signal from your guitar and it being down to, say, this part having worn away. So I think a really good quality jack socket is a great part to have on a guitar.
And then again, be aware of different sizes. All Parts, it's an American brand, so this will be a bit wider than on many cheaper or Asian guitars. So if the hole is too small, you have to just go and drill it.
Let's talk about the more single cutaway style guitars for a moment. It's pretty much the same as you talked about with the ST style. Pickups, there is no pick guard like it is on the ST style here.
It's different.
So this is extremely simple to change. We've got one.
But you have to be careful. Yeah. Here again, if you want to have the Gibson ones, because those look prettier or something, it will not really fit, because the pickup distance is different here and this one. This little thingy, that holds the bracket, whatever it's called.
Bracket,
yeah. The bracket, the angle of the bracket is different, so you will have to probably screw this hole again on a different spot if you want to use a different brand pick guard. So it's, again, be prepared.
Behind us is the 7-string Harley Benton.
And not just any 7-string.
Here you are.
It's the one with the slant pickups, which and also a fan fretboard, which is a lot of fun, of course, and you can definitely relearn playing the guitar one of these. But it has the benefits, of course, of having better tension here and less tension there where you want to bend. But these pickups are slant, and you can actually see that the routing in the wood is also slant. That looks pretty, but it makes it impossible to change these pickups. So right now, as far as we are concerned, there's no pickup on the aftermarket market fitting these routings just as they are in original shape and form. So you will have to spend some money on a luthier, paying a luthier who will change the routing for a normal rectangular 7-string or 6-string or whichever guitar you have pickup. Last thing, on this guitar, it's the Fusion series, the Pro Series guitar. Pretty new, they came out last year, the first generation of these, and it's probably the only Harley Benton I would not necessarily recommend changing anything.
I would agree with that.
You could put in different pickups, of course, because it's a personal choice. Whatever you prefer, high output, low output, medium output, mid-rangey, scooped, whatever. But these are actually really clear sounding, usable pickups, so you could just leave them where they are. But if you want to change them, it's not a big problem. You don't want to change an original Floyd if you buy an original Floyd. The other versions have the Wilkinson pickup trams, which are the ST type, more traditional trams from Wilkinson. Very high-end, very good quality trams. The pots are really alright, probably alpha pots, I'm not sure, but I haven't checked it, but these do feel very high quality and alright. The tuners, I mean, you don't want to change Grovers, So there are guitars, even in the Harley range, that came just pretty much as good as they can get.
What did we miss? What did we forget? What more questions do you have about upgrading a Harley Benton's and other sort of budget range guitars? Ask us, leave us some comments down below, and we'll try and get another video out to you very soon and fill in the gaps.
Great idea. Cheers, guys. Subscribe, hit the bell, stuff. He's smiling.
Free swing.